Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Shreya. Now comfortable?
Yes, sir.
And you have joined from which place?
So I've joined from National Academy of Direct Access, Nagpur.
Okay. Okay. Can you introduce yourself, Shreya? Brief introduction.
Good morning, sir. My name is SHREYA Tyagi. I come from New Delhi. My father was in a transferable job, so we have grown up in a few different cities. I did my 10th and 12th from the Kingdom of Bahrain, and I subsequently did my graduation and post-graduation in political science and international relations. Currently, I'm serving as a probationer in the Indian Revenue Service, income tax.
Okay. Basically, you are from New Delhi.
Yes, sir.
Good. And Nagpur, you are, since when you are in Nagpur?
So I'm in Nagpur since 3 months. I joined my training in December.
Okay. And what is famous for Nagpur?
So it's known as the Orange City
Mm-hmm.
because the orange of Nagpur is very famous. It's also known as the Tiger City because there are a lot of tiger reserves nearby.
Okay. What are the tiger name? Name them few.
So personally, we've been to two. It's not very close by, but we've been to Tadoba and Panchmadi across the border in Madhya Pradesh, and
Mm-hmm.
Tadoba, which is around 3-4 hours away. So.
Okay. And any other can you visualize nearby in Maharashtra?
So in Maharashtra, uh,
Mm-hmm.
so off the top of my head, I cannot remember right now.
Okay, no problem. And before this IRS, you were in Defense Account Services.
Yes, sir.
And before that also you were working as in Foreign Trade
Yes.
Department. What difference you have seen in these 3-4 departments so far?
So right out of college, I had joined the Indian Trade Service, which was, and because I had joined a little later, so I was posted directly to the headquarters,
Mm-hmm.
and I worked in the Foreign Trade Department. So because it was a central ministry, it was much more of a job that was related to congregation of data, arranging of meetings, holding of meetings, and over there we were also in the process of signing a free trade agreement with the UK. So that was undergoing. It was a lot of policy making work, is what I saw. In the Indian Defense Account Service, sir, I was undergoing training, but I saw the complete department in action. I would say it's a much more inward looking and a control department where most of the interaction is between the armed forces and the defense ministry. And sir, right now in the Indian Revenue Service, I would say that Indian Revenue Service has a lot of opportunities beyond the income tax department. So we are being exposed to that. So it's a much more outward looking department as per my.
And you have not opted for any other service except foreign service.
Yes.
So you do not treat IAS and IPS to be worth it.
No, sir, not at all. I think, of course, IAS and IPS are great services, but the reason why I wrote the exam was because I wanted to get into the Indian Foreign Service. And that has been my goal. And I like the Indian Revenue Service. I like the job that is ensued within the Indian Revenue Service. If I would like to switch, it would only be for Indian Foreign Service.
Okay. And which countries you like most?
Uh, So all countries would be all kinds of opportunities. But if I was to pick, I would love to study Chinese. I think that would be an interesting experience.
Okay. And how is Indian trade with China? Now, where the balance goes?
So the Indian trade with China is particularly skewed, especially in terms of we share a large trade deficit with China. This is rooted in the fact that there is a lot of export of raw material and primary goods that comes from China to the Indian markets.
Mm-hmm. And what about the new tariff plan of USA with India?
So the new tariff plan of the Trump government seeks to impose around 25% tariff on goods such as aluminum, steel, etc. And there is a big threat coming from this. Especially there was a today's newspaper said there was a threat of a $1 billion dollar loss that India could face out of these aluminum tariffs.
So we are losing so much of revenue. So what should be done?
So I think India and Indian diplomacy, as well as the trade establishment, is adopting a pragmatic policy where we are giving in to some of the tariff reduction so as to not be under the direct tariff brunt of the Trump government. We're also seeking to reroute some of the trade, say from countries such as China to the US, so as to accommodate Trump's worries. Apart from that, sir, we have to lower our tariff barriers anyway to be much more trade competitive, is my opinion, sir.
Okay. And our exports, we are not able to export so much of goods to other countries. What more should be added in the list of exports?
The one big thing that I would seek to highlight in terms of what should be exported is our agricultural produce. Our agricultural produce faces a lot of non-tariff and phytosanitary measures in countries such as in Western countries and the EU. And navigating that is extremely important. Apart from that, sir, value addition in certain sectors such as gems and jewelry is essential because you're already that's somewhat of a sector specialization that we already hold, and specializing in that would be a welcome step, sir.
But Trump administration is working other ways around. He is saying that India should abolish the tariff on agriculture uh, produce, and USA want to send their agriculture produce and dairy products to India. And you are saying something else, that we have to export our agriculture produce. How then it's possible then?
So I think there are certain goods in which it's not a threatening matter for the Indian government, such as aluminum and steel, where we can work around tariffs. However, in agriculture, it's a livelihood issue for a significant population of ours. And thus, it is not something that can just be removed because the US wants it to. In fact, our per capita subsidy to farmers is far lesser, and therefore that should be used at the negotiating table against the US.
Okay. And one more thing, that you are being a international relations student. We have recently played cricket with Pakistan. Should we continue playing, or should we play like this time only also, that we played at Dubai, not at Pakistan? What does the difference make it? What is the difference?
So I think there is a bit of a difference because first we're not interacting with Pakistan in Pakistan, and we are playing multilateral cricket with them in a tournament rather than a bilateral sort of a just the two teams. I think it makes a point that India is not becoming a problematic element in its own that is willing to engage with Pakistan in a multilateral setting, but there is a direct bilateral engagement that we seek to avoid at all costs. So I think there is somewhat of a difference.
Okay, and my last question, uh, should Government of India plan some IT amnesty scheme to create more broad-based system for the IT taxpayers? Any comment?
So could you please repeat the question?
Should Government of India give some scheme of amnesty for the IT defaulters, or those who are not paying the taxes, so that the base is broadened?
Yes, sir. I think right now broadening the base is of utmost importance. We need more people to file the ITR, and the idea of the whole Vivad Se Vishwas scheme was aimed at broadening this thing, allowing defaulters to come in within the tax bracket and eventually seeking out taxes from them, sir.
Okay then. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Urban sir, please.
Good morning, Shreya.
Good morning, sir.
So you are now in Nagpur, right?
Yes, sir.
Nagpur is, of course, known as Orange City, but not Tiger City, I suppose. Hmm. Tigers are far away. So
Yes, sir.
Tadoba is in Chandrapur district, right?
Yes, sir.
This Chandrapur should be known as Tiger City, not Nagpur.
So I presume, because this is what I've seen at the airport and the train station and stuff like that, is because Nagpur is a regional hub. So this is where people from the outside come in and say disperse to these districts, is what I presume. That's why they call it Tiger Cities.
They are branding it now as a
Yes,
Tiger
sir.
City.
I think there is a push to brand it as that because
Hmm.
we've seen it in multiple places, the airport and stuff like that, the metro.
Okay. So you have been to Tadoba, right?
Yes, sir.
And which other tiger reserve? Pench?
So we went to Panchmadi recently, sir. Not to Pench.
Panchmadi, okay. Not Pench. And Kana?
So no, sir, I haven't been to Kanas.
Okay, Kana is also right on the border of, I suppose, Nagpur district, right?
So I'm
DNM.
not sure from.
Mm. Okay, so you went there to Tadoba just like that, or you are avid means keen this thing in this visiting these reserves?
So no, actually, it's a part of our weekend attachment, like at from the academy, because we're positioned at Nagpur. I think the academy takes a special interest in making us explore areas that are
No,
nearby.
attachment can be something different which has be helpful in your course, right? Basic course. But just like as a picnic or me keeping you engaged or busy on the weekend, that is a different issue. So what it is, an attachment or just fun sake?
So more of like a wildlife tour, I would say.
Wildlife tour, okay. So how it will be helpful in your this thing service? Means academy has some plans.
So maybe not a direct tangible benefit to income tax, but I guess being familiar with the area and just knowing the places that are around you is something that makes you a much more holistic human being.
It is compulsory mandatory visit or it's optional?
So in training, most things are mandatory.
Mandatory, okay.
Yes.
It's quite a these things. Great. So you have been preparing for Indian Foreign Service since long, I suppose.
Yes, sir.
Hmm? Means your courses I'm looking at is international relations and then conflict transformation and peace building.
Yes, sir.
So let us talk about this conflict transformation and peace building. What it is, this course is exactly means how it is designed.
So it's a 1 year long course. It's a postgraduate diploma course.
Mhm.
And the idea is that you study various conflicts around the world and study reasons as to say why they started, why they kept going, what was the peace process in a lot of them so as to end them. And finally, concepts like violence, like peace building, peacekeeping, what are the various differences in that? And then finally, we had to work on our own research project, delving into certain conflicts on our own and trying to examine them from our own lens. And in the second research project, we had to adopt one of the lenses that existed within the field of study to the research project. So,
So what is the transformation of conflict? I mean, conflict transformation. What exactly does it mean?
so conflict transformation goes a step beyond peacekeeping. It is that you recognize the factors that led to this conflict in the first place, and you seek to address them through a holistic way. That is, every conflict is not just a trigger event. It is rooted in a lot of different socio-political, economic, historical issues. And we seek to address all of them while transforming the whole conflict to create a more equitable society.
So that is a transformation. Okay. So conflict-ridden societies post means resolution of such a conflict. It's a very critical period, right? That's
Yes, sir.
normally we call it transitional justice, etc. So what is this exactly the transitional justice in these conflict societies?
So, from what I understand, transitional justice is aimed at making sure that there are certain, first, peace is kept That is, it is maintained at a level where there is not ongoing violence. And second, there is a complete stop in hostilities overseen by a larger framework. So it could be the UN, it could be a third guarantor countries, it could be that the parties or that are involved, their leaders are involved in overseeing that peace is preserved and maintained.
Okay, then there's one model is Truth and Reconciliation Commission, right?
Yes, sir.
Have you read about South African Truth and Reconciliation Commission
Yes, sir.
and how successful this effort was?
So the South African Truth and Reconciliation Commission is one of the models for conflict transformation. It was extremely successful in the sense of as successful as such a model can be. First, it brought not only immediate peace to the society, but it brought forward a lot of conversations in terms of how long-term the oppression had been, and it allowed for a soft transition in power to occur. So much so that it serves as a model for peacemaking in a lot of conflicts currently too, sir.
So now you see in India, of course, not traditional sense, but internal conflicts. Northeast, we have some simmering. Punjab again is a bit of means we are having a number of grenade attacks in Punjab also. Mean the last night also means there was one attack on a temple in Amritsar. And then, of course, J&K is also a sort of problematic area for India. Of course, it is all internal. We are not saying it's means kind of this thing, but then you see any possibility of having the application of Truth and Reconciliation Commission, any of these areas?
Yes, sir. I think I see the application of truth and reconciliation, and in my limited understanding, I would see its application most useful to a conflict like Kashmir, where the hostilities and distrust is very deep rooted within the people who are involved in the conflict. If we ever seek to create a Kashmir that is peaceful for the long term, grievances from the ordinary people have to come out, and grievances who it's against have to address them at some level. And only that can lead to long-term peace in the societies.
So that is useful as per your this thing assessment, right?
Yes, sir.
So given the choice, right? So which country would you like to serve as High Commissioner or Ambassador? If at all, when you are means you are selected as Indian Foreign Service Officer.
So honestly, one particular country I cannot pick. I would be open to all. Given the opportunity, I would be open to all, sir.
But given your this thing, deep understanding about conflict, transformation, or peace, etc., would you like to go to some country where there is a conflict?
Sir, I would like to go to a country where conflict is resolved so as to understand the method. To a country where conflict already exists, I don't understand what, say, as Indian High Commissioner, I would be able to do about the conflict.
Yeah, not as a High Commissioner, but says like we are now trying to means have some role in Ukraine. And obviously, our Indian Foreign Service officers are playing a great role there, right? So,
Yes,
in
sir.
that capacity, would you like suppose given you are today an Indian Foreign Service officer, let us presume you are, and now there is a Ukraine. So, would you like to go there as an emissary or as a part of a team member, kind of?
Yes, sir, for sure. I think let's put some of the degrees to use and be part of the solution. If there is any space to be part of the solution, sir, why not?
You are more interested in means post-conflict studies. The first part of your answer to indicates.
So sorry, I could not understand the last question.
First part of your answer indicated that you would like to go to some country where conflict is already over and then to study the process, how it got over.
Yes, sir.
So you are more interested in studying when the peace has been established or restored, or means you will also means try like to take part in resolution part also.
So I think that the resolution part requires a lot more studying to do. Otherwise, it would be a little bit superficial. I think it's a 1 year long course. I don't think I have that kind of understanding. I would like a deeper understanding to be of actual use to the system. So,
Okay, thank you so much, Shreya. When is your interview, by the way?
so my interview is on 17th April.
Oh, long time. Last day, I
Yes,
suppose.
last day.
Okay, okay. It's more than a month. Okay, thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Shreya,
Yes, sir.
your background is political science.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so a bit about that. Recently, there was a recommendation that the criminal cases that are on politicians, those politicians should be removed from the parliament, or uh, we need to bring some new laws for that. Do you agree that we should have more stringent restrictions on parliamentarians who are convicted or their cases are going on in court of law?
Yes, sir. I think there is a need for stringent laws when it comes to criminality within the parliament. I think it is a slippery slope that starts from the parliament and goes downward, creating that sort of a whole nexus in society.
Okay, so here my secondary question comes that with that, do you think that there should be a moral campus for politicians to act? For example, the civil servants have a code of conduct. Like, I hope you are reading, you have been to two different civil services, so there has been a code of conduct in each one of them. But where is the code of conduct for the politicians? Any politicians will say anything without any claims, without any credibility. Can a civil servant do that?
No, sir, a civil servant cannot do that. And there is a need for this to exist, this system to exist for politicians as well.
So there should be a code of conduct.
There should be a code of conduct, sir. At least a code of ethics that creates a broad framework of what is right and what is wrong, sir.
Now, let's come to India again. There has been a very big issue going on between the central government and the Tamil Nadu government. Do you think that it is an uh, enforcement of central authorities on a state government, or is it the Tamil Nadu's way? Which one it is?
So at this point of time, from my limited understanding, it looks a little bit of deep-seated insecurities around certain issues that are coming out from Tamil Nadu and that are being used as now an election gimmick by certain parties. And so these conflicts are normal in a federal system, but to constantly use them for elections is something that should be avoided.
Okay. Shreya, recently there was International Women's Day. Now, have you observed some improvements, or the society is still the same misogynist, patriarch?
So from this Women's Day, I like would not be able to map an improvement, but from the time that I've grown up, I have seen a lot of improvement in the way that women are treated, at least in a formal setting and system. Although, of course, differences and discrimination do exist, but to a large extent, at least in formal senses, they have been addressed.
Can you give me some examples? Because I still read dowry-related deaths and other crime against women. So do you think that there is an improvement?
So 100%, you are correct that crime and violence against women does continue at a very large level in the Indian society as well as other societies. But so apart from that, there are other various metrics in terms of which India has improved, from a very basic sex ratio to women in the economy, to the posts that they can access and the uh, to the heights where they can reach within their careers. In the formal sense of the word, there is a movement towards equality. Of course, it is laden with difficulties, and there's a lot more and a lot ahead we can go in this regard, sir.
Okay. So let's have a bit about constitution. थोड़ा सा ही ज़्यादा नहीं. I'm going to give you four different fundamental rights. and you have to tell us that which of the following is an absolute right. Okay. So the first one is 14, then 17, then 19, and then 21.
So if I'm remembering correctly, I think 17 and 21 are absolute rights, and 14 and 19 are not.
Okay, so regarding 14 and 19, I'm in agreement with you. But what about 21? Is 21 an absolute right?
So 21 is a broad encompassing right. So I would say the number of inclusions that have happened under 21, maybe so I think I would have to read up a little bit more on that, whether it would fit the definition of an absolute right or not.
Okay, from here, I will like to discuss one more thing regarding Article 19. So you are a civil servant. Okay. Do you have the same level of freedom under Article 19 like I have? Because I am a individual citizen. I am not a civil servant. So are our rights same under Article 19?
No, sir, I think there are certain differences that are created by being a part of the civil services. The civil service conduct rules clearly lay out that there are certain instances where a civil servant should not be saying
Tell
things in a
me,
public sphere or holding
tell me,
certain opinions that are made public.
tell me any restrictions that you have.
So political opinions, voicing them on social media, uh, any sort of so
So
word to word, I will not be able to quote.
okay, perfectly fine. And you have made the point. Now, Shreya, here, now as a student, as a teacher, I want to ask you this. Don't you think that this is a breach of your individual right? Even if you are a civil servant, then still you have your rights to marry, to have your opinion. Don't you think it's a breach?
So I think broad-based sort of conduct rules are made so as to avoid any sort of untoward instances. And civil servants being in critical positions somewhere in our careers mean that there is a certain sort of restraint that is required. Maybe there's a need for this not to be as blanket as it is currently, but in certain situations it is required, and that is why I guess it's started from right when we joined towards the end, that it becomes a practice in itself, like a habit in ourselves, rather than something that has to be enforced time and time again.
Okay, but I think a bit more clarity. I think Kulwan sir and Man sir will give us better quality clarification here too. Now, one more, uh, a bit of a constitutional question again. So you are a civil servant, so you have taken oath or you have taken affirmation? Which one you have taken? And it's a
So from
difficult
what I
question,
remember,
but
I've taken an oath.
you have taken an oath. Then how would we say that oath is different from affirmation? And I expect a bit difficult questions from you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me make it more easier. And I'm not sure it will be more easier or more difficult, okay? But I'm going to give you another ball. Can you tell me what was your oath?
So it was an oath that affirmed our commitment to the Constitution and acting as per the principles of the Constitution, if I remember correctly.
I would not know. It's your
Yes,
services.
I think it was affirming our self to the Constitution and the principles of it.
I would just say that you can expect this type of question. Okay.
Okay.
It's a
Yes,
very
sir.
important one. Obviously, you have taken oath of something and
Yes,
you
sir.
don't remember that what oath I have taken. Then
Yes, sir. Yes.
okay. So yeah, I did this to previous year to one more candidate, and he was also not able to recall. Okay.
Yes, sir. I'll work on it. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yeah. So a bit more. Let's change the topic. Let introduce something new in here. Now, there has been a lot of debate regarding UCC in Uttarakhand. Okay. Now, if I say this statement that UCC's provision regarding the registration and the documentation of live-in relations is nothing but actually breach of personal liberty, personal information. Don't you agree with that?
So I, at some level, agree that it is a breach of personal, as in privacy and the personal choices and autonomy of couples. But again, sir, the way that the Indian society is currently, and the sort of violence that we are seeing coming out of even live-in relationships uh, of the last 2, 3 years, and very heinous cases, some sort of registration needs to, or some sort of system needs to occur where the state at some point of time has some information where if such an untoward instance does occur, then the state can intervene. So maybe voluntary disclosure from the couples themselves, not something as invasive as couples needing a guardian to affirm that, oh, there is consent from the family or something of that sort, but just a light touch kind of disclosure from the couples themselves is something that could work in the favor of the state and the couple as well.
Okay, thank you, Shreya.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, please take it.
Shreya, how do you feel your interview was today?
So I feel like my answers were a little bit longer than I hoped, and I think I did a lot of but otherwise, it was a good interview. I think it was my first proper interview after uh, last year's interview, so I'm feeling good about
What was the score your last time your interview score?
it. Sir, 201.
201 is outstanding, isn't
Yes.
it?
Thank you.
Very rarely you find more than 200.
Yes, sir, I think I
Well,
had a good day that day.
Mark, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just one or two suggestions because you need not have much any advice you don't need. Just because you are posted in now in Nagpur and the question naturally will come from Nagpur.
Yes, sir.
And you yourself replied regarding the national parks and then you yourself faltered there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You have to read it about.
Yes, sir.
But you mentioned you should be thorough in that also. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is one question. Secondly, because you are interested and you are trained in your international relations, then you have to study the US Trump administration impact on various aspects of Indian economy.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Regarding agriculture, you have to read it again because it is a
Okay, sir.
statement. It may come out, may not come out,
Yes,
but
sir.
it may come again.
Okay,
Otherwise,
sir.
no issue with you. You are a very good and outstanding type of candidate, and we wish all the best to you and hope you will repeat your last year's mark. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Kulwant sir.
Okay, Shreya, you are of course, very good candidate, and given your background, educational as well as your family background and your exposure, bar will be much higher,
Yes,
right?
sir.
As compared to other candidates. Of course, you can cross that bar, no doubt about it. Your answers initially were quite short. Means they were
Yes, sir.
okay. I'm not trying to say they were very short, but they were to the point.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
And you did not volunteer to explain something which were not asked. Okay,
Okay,
that
sir.
is also good. Or that lead to cross questioning. But
Yes,
about,
sir.
as Mr. Maan has told, and then about this Tiger City, you must find out whether it is officially branded as Tiger City
Okay, sir.
or not. Okay,
Yes, sir. I'll be a little careful about that. I think it just came out and I
it's
was okay.
officially branded as Orange City. It's known as
Yes, sir.
Orange City. I suppose branded also means officially. So you must be very sure. Should not rely on what is written few billboards at the airport or somewhere else, right?
Yes, sir.
So try to find it out. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And secondly, you are quite comfortable, means when we are asking about your conflict and these issues because that is your educational background. And when we went to this constitutional questions,
Yes, sir.
opinion-based questions, so there
Yes.
was a problem.
Yes, sir.
Like live-in relationships,
Yes, sir.
saying that they should come out and kind of light touch, or means there is a privacy issue also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Few incidents where some ladies have been brutally murdered, means one or two, or maybe some domestic violence issues. That doesn't call for such a strict measure of
Yes, sir.
kind of regime what we are now implementing. Okay, so you have to
Yes,
have a kind of balance where you're taking care of the rights of privacy right and the rights of these living couples living together, right?
yes, sir.
So I think you have to means have opinion-based question. You have to very balanced kind of view, not
Yes, sir.
blindly endorsing a kind of policy which may not be very good indeed. Though you are a government servant, but now you are appearing for an interview and you have a liberty to. And secondly, about oath and affirmation. Oath is a
Yes.
kind of has a religious content.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Affirmation is a secular thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes.
that is the main difference. Otherwise, both are binding. And thirdly, I think you were telling about what one more issue. Living is over, and then there was one more issue I'm forgetting.
So then Article 19 in civil servants.
Civil servants, civil services. Because now you are a part of the government, okay?
Yes, sir.
So if you are criticizing the government or its policies, of course you are a part
Mm.
of it and you are endorsing indirectly it.
Yes, sir.
It has to be some restrictions, and that is
Okay.
good for the system.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
you cannot have many voices. And secondly, uh, as far as government policies or government issues are concerned, then there is a designated spokesperson for every department or for the government. And once
Yes,
some
sir.
issue has been crystallized, formed up, so that is the responsibility of the government.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
to,
sir.
to give clarifications of means, and then as a part of the government, you cannot criticize unnecessarily.
Yes,
Otherwise,
sir.
you become a whistleblower kind of. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so that in way is a good. In any case, the bureaucrats are supposed to be neutral. So
Yes.
secondly, they have to not to indulge into political speech also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That way, conduct rules are means rightly this thing. You have to means you are given an opportunity to enter dissent when you
Yes,
are
sir.
putting something on file.
Yes, sir.
You can write there means need not go public for your dissent because you
Yes,
are
sir.
given
Yes.
opportunity as a bureaucrat when you are initiating a file. You have every right to differ, and the decision maker has every right to differ with you and overrule.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
And
Yes,
matter
sir.
ends there. Okay. So otherwise, you are a very good candidate and you will do well, no doubt about it. You have good 1 month still to prepare, and in these areas where you feel and we have given feedback, you can work on them and
Yes, sir.
will do well. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
I'll work on those. I'll work on those, sir. Thank you so much.
All the
Thank you.
best, Shreya.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.